Howdy YouTube, Darlington Farm here. Just had a request to do a comparison video between the William & Hussey W7S and the Shop Fox W1812. They really are a strikingly similar design. In fact, actually the Shop Fox, the previous to 2010 model, I think, was so similar that William & Hussey sued them. The previous ones were just absolutely identical. I'm going to kind of go through the differences here. There really aren't that many, differences. The William & Hussey here rides up and down via this jack screw on these two pillars here, and then clamp back here. This clamps the casting here to the pillars, and locks in the height. The front side here floats. Which is pretty much identical to the way the Shop Fox here works. Instead of being two pillars, there's just some cast iron dovetails there with some plastic shims in there that it rides up and down on via the same jack screw. As you can see, the Shop Fox here, the construction is just a little heavier, bigger jack screw than the Hussey here. I think the clamping mechanism works a little better, and it just seems like it's a beefier unit. Also, the business end here, the cutter holder, is bigger on the Shop Fox than on the Hussey here, and the bearings that carry the cutter holder here are a lot bigger. I think these look like they're kind of 1 1/8. Versus these look like they are about 5/8. I couldn't tell you the exact dimensions, so I don't really want to tear it apart, but that looks like a 5/8 shaft, and this looks like about an 1 1/8 shaft. So definitely heavier cutter head carrier, which is kind of nice. Also, this is an older model that has the the set feed rate, which actually I don't really mind. As you can see, I've got a relief cutter knife in here. That's pretty much what I use this molder for. I pretty much just run back cuts on it because I really like the variable feed here on the Shop Fox, where you can really dial it in. As far as just running it just fast enough where you're keeping your efficiency up, but not so fast that the quality of your molding degrades. That's kind of what I really like about it. Also, for curved moldings, I really like to be able to turn this down, because when you're feeding a curved molding in here, I really like to have a slow feed rate, where it's not quite so scary that it's going to go in there, hit something and jam and cause problems. You can really kind of dial it back to where it, just barely creeps in there, and something like that. Versus the Shop Fox, or my Hussey here actually has been modified. When I bought it, it had still does have a 5-horse motor on it with a lot larger diameter pulley than it would have originally come with. So I think these originally come with a 3-horse or maybe a 2-horse, but yeah, this is a 5 with a big pulley on there, which means this sucker really cranks. Now, I don't know as far as the longevity of the thing here, how that's going to affect it, but I will say it really will crank through the wood really quickly, and you can put a heavy profile in there and it does not really slow that 5-horse down. So how that compares to a standard 2-horse, I don't know, but I will say that it will definitely take a 5-horse, and man, with that bigger pulley on there, that sucker really cranks. It really will kick out the molding really quickly. Yeah, there's an example of the back cut Actually, that's the knife that's in there. I really do like, however, running the front cut, especially on stain grade stuff. I like running that on the Shop Fox, where I can really dial in the speed. But yeah, pretty much they're pretty identical. Especially if you get a newer Hussey that has the variable feed on it. This is only a 2-horse, or the Shop Fox here is only a 2-horse. Actually, I may upgrade that depending on kind of how things go. I like that the 5-horse in this, even when you put a heavy profile on there, it doesn't really slow down. So I may go ahead and put a 3 or a 5-horse in this. I really like to keep I really like being able to have the fast cutter head speed. Where it doesn't really bog down when you put a heavy cutter on it, especially since this you know, holds up with the 5-horse on it, and you know, this is a lot heavier built, so I'm really tempted to put a 5-horse in it and see if I can get my you know, speed up a little more out of it. But yeah, here are the top covers. They actually are just close enough to where they sort of interchange. They don't quite lock all the way down, but they are pretty close. You know, the Hussey here, it looks like somebody has added that at some point along the way. I believe this is a 97 model, but here's the you know, the Shop Fox, and the Shop Fox, you know, has a lot of this, obviously, with more, you know, more casting around it, is a lot quieter than the Hussey. The Hussey, especially, you know, the enclosed motor down there, it's definitely a lot quieter, but I like them both. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about either one of them. They do what they're supposed to do. They you know, really crank through the work. You know, I think the Shop Fox here looks a little cooler. If I were buying a new, or you know, buying another one, I definitely would get another Shop Fox. The Husseys here are really expensive. I think they're close to $4,000. I think they're about $3,800 for a new Hussey versus, you know, I think this, if you do not get the elliptical jig with it, I think they're, you know, $1,400–1,500. So, you know, kind of a pretty big price disparity there. In fact, actually, if the molding business kind of keeps going the way it is, I may add a second Shop Fox here, just where I can just have the same profile knives and, you know, just have 2 of them running, and then just save this one for my back cutter. So I may kind of roll with that and see how that goes, but I really like them both. Definitely no complaints whatsoever. I guess the one thing, I don't believe the new Husseys here come with this. You know, come with a table like this with the adjustable. Oh, actually, I guess I should talk about that. Yeah, these were made by the previous owner. This is just a piece of MDF with some, you know, Formica on top of it, and then again, these are just plywood here. But and then there's a track in there where you can move it along, cinch your work down, and then feed it through there. This actually has the elliptical jig in it right there, as you can see. There are some bearings. A fixed one up here, and then the back one here is on springs. But the Shop Fox here has 2 dovetails built into, I don't know if you can sort of see it there, 2 dovetails built into the table, and some metal guides here. I definitely like the bigger table on the Shop Fox here. Although, you know, I don't really think that it makes that much difference on your molding. I think it, you know, it looks a little better, but it doesn't seem like it has much of an effect on your molding. There are some rollers that mount on either side here of the stand. I have them sitting over in the corner of my shop, but I don't really think you need them. Anyway, I guess that's kind of the 2 molders there. If you're looking to buy either one of them, I can't really say anything bad about them. I definitely like having the variable feed, and they do make, if you're looking at an old one like this, a variable feed unit for the older Husseys here. I think it's about $700. It's kind of the only downside, because I had kind of thought about getting a variable feed one for this as well, but then I decided that for $700 I can, you know, put that towards another, you know, a third machine, rather than, you know, putting another $700 into that. So that was kind of my thought there. But anyway, yes, thanks for watching. Click, comment, subscribe. And if you're in the Indianapolis, Crawfordsville sort of area, look me up. I am cranking out quite a lot of moldings and custom cabinets.